In this video, you'll get something unique, something fast, and most importantly, something that you absolutely need to consider before purchase. Today, I'll tell you everything you need to know about the Hyperion Elite 4 from Brooks. This is as premium as it gets from one of the world's most beloved running shoe creators. So, if you haven't already, get a hot cup of coffee and enjoy. In order to know whether you should hurry up and put this model on your wish list or not, I need to tell you about the upper. So, when you first slide the top of the box and remove eventual packaging paper from your brand new pair of Hyperion Elites, chances are that your eyes instantly will fall in love with a perfectly knitted upper. And I am not exaggerating. The only thing that comes even remotely close to this quality is, of course, the fly knit upper on the latest Vaporfly from Nike. Otherwise, Brooks made me really excited to try these on at first glance. And I have tried many running shoes over the years, so I am not easily impressed. What stands out with the upper is the breathability. It can be hard to craft such a lightweight upper with top-notch ventilation and still manage to retain durability and fit, but Brooks managed to do it. So, if some product development guy from Brooks are watching this, great job with the upper. However, I am not done yet. I can only talk from my own experience, and there is no shoe that is one size fits all. With that said, you bigfoots, or more nicely put, wider-footed runners out there, might get some claustrophobia despite the very breathable materials. The fit leans towards the narrower side, potentially feeling restrictive for some. My own feet are long and narrow, characteristics that actually enhance my appreciation for the snug fit of this shoe's upper. However, if you typically prefer a more generous toe box for a bit more wiggle room, I strongly advise sizing up at least a half size to prevent any potential discomfort. Speed is of the essence with the Hyperion Elite 4, and the fit reflects this priority. It's designed to be tight and secure, mimicking the feel of Nike's Vaporfly series. The shoe envelops your foot closely, ensuring minimal internal movement. Once they're on, they're designed to stay, and there is no getting them off. At least not sliding them off like a more casually designed recovery day shoe. This locked and loaded fit is crucial for racers seeking optimal performance. But be forewarned, if you're not used to such a snug feel, these might take some getting used to, and removing them quickly post-session could require a bit more effort than you'd prefer. In essence, the Brooks Hyperion Elite 4 is built for speed, engineered to offer a close, secure connection to your feet, emulating the characteristics of a high-performance race day shoe. Just remember, the right fit is crucial, not just for comfort, but for maximizing the shoe's intended benefits. Enough with the upsides, no pun intended. That coffee you're drinking, try not spill it all over your couch, because as we look towards the midsole, there are unfortunately some great disappointments we need to discuss. The Brooks Hyperion Elite 4 weighs in at 8.35 ounces or 236 grams for a size 10.5, placing it squarely within the typical range for racing shoes. It's not the featherweight champion like Nike's Vaporfly, but it holds its own, comparable to the heft of the Saucony Endorphin Pro. Respectable, yes, but let's not kid ourselves. It's not leading the pack in the lightweight department. Now, let's talk about the midsole, where things get a bit dicey. The shoe boasts a 40mm heel stack height, which is the upper limit allowed under World Athletics regulations for race day footwear. Impressive, right? Well, not so fast. The forefoot stack height is only 32mm, creating an 8mm drop that, frankly, feels more conservative than what you'd want in a true speedster. In practice, this shoe might give you the vibe of a daily trainer rather than a race day weapon. And while Brooks advertises an 8mm drop, it wouldn't surprise me if actual measurements push that figure even higher. This isn't just a minor detail. The discrepancy in stack height can significantly affect the shoe's performance dynamics, particularly for runners who prioritize a snappy, responsive ride. The Brooks Hyperion Elite 4, with its current midsole setup, risks feeling more sluggish than its competitors, potentially leaving speed-focused runners a bit disappointed. So, what does this mean for you? Well, if you are a heel striker, it's good news, but for midfoot and forefoot strikers, you might want to consider the overall verdict at the end of this video before making your decision. They've opted for DNA Flash V2 foam, a supercritical EVA-based material, rather than the more advanced PEBA-based foams used in today's leading race shoes. Initially, the foam feels decent underfoot, but it doesn't take long for its shortcomings to become apparent. As the miles rack up, you start craving more, much more. You expect a racing shoe to deliver a sense of speed and explosive energy return. But I'm sorry to say this isn't it. If you're looking for that thrilling sensation of propulsion and effortless speed that defines the best modern racers, the Hyperion Elite 4 might leave you wanting. The midsole, to put it bluntly, feels lifeless. And that innovative carbon plate, it's there, but you'd hardly notice. It's overshadowed by the lackluster foam foam that fails to harness its potential. Brooks has tried to enhance the formula by infusing the foam with nitrogen, which has been a successful story with other models in the catalog, but no amount of chemical wizardry seems to rescue the overall experience in this one. It's a tough pill to swallow, especially when this shoe is priced similarly to others featuring top-tier PIBA foams like the Zoom X or FF Turbo Plus. Before we wrap up with my final thoughts on who should snag or skip the Brooks Hyperion Elite 4, let's address its carbon plate and outsole, elements that could have been pivotal but ultimately fell flat. The outsole is dependable enough, it's durable, and offers decent grip. However, it doesn't break any new ground, especially when compared to the advanced rubber compositions like Puma's Puma Grip technology. It does the job, but it doesn't excite. Now, onto what could have been the star of the show, the carbon plate. Yes, it's cool looking and structurally innovative with its unique build, suggesting potential for exceptional performance. There's nothing inherently flawed about the plate itself. In fact, it's quite a remarkable piece of engineering, potentially one of the best out there in terms of design. However, pairing it with the subpar DNA Flash V2 foam is a critical misstep. It's akin to arming an elite athlete with gear that's just not up to task. Imagine handing LeBron James a pair of slippers for an NBA final. The potential of the carbon plate is drastically undermined by the mediocre foam, much like a high-performance engine throttled by a low-quality gearbox. So, who should buy the Brooks Hyperion Elite 4s? Well, if you're a runner who thrives on a firm, responsive ride and appreciates meticulous design, then yes, this shoe might be a good choice. It's particularly well-suited for heel strikers who don't necessarily crave the marshmallow-like softness found in some of today's super shoes. This is about getting a direct, grounded feel of the road without the fluff, pure, no-nonsense speed with each stride. But let me be brutally honest, if you're chasing the kind of midsole magic that has redefined what speed feels like, think along the lines of the plush bounce of Nike's Vaporfly or the smooth propulsion of the Saucony Endorphin Pro, then the Brooks Hyperion Elite 4 will leave you feeling a bit flat. The shoe's DNA Flash V2 foam, while technologically sound and improved from previous iterations, simply doesn't deliver the same spring and energy return as the more advanced PIBA-based foams that are now setting the standard in the marathon and elite racing scenes. In fact, for the $250 price tag, some might argue that you're paying a premium for a shoe that doesn't quite meet the gold standard set by its competitors in the super shoe arena. This is not to say it's a bad shoe, it's not. It's very good, but in a market that's now driven by breakthroughs in foam technology and dynamic plate systems, the Hyperion Elite 4 feels like it's a step behind the best. So, before you commit to the Brooks Hyperion Elite 4, consider what you really want from your race day shoe. Are you looking for something that offers top-tier breathability, a secure fit, and a dependable ride? Or are you in search of that next-level innovation that might shave seconds off your PR? Your priorities will dictate whether this shoe is a hit or a miss for your running needs. If traditional, firm responsiveness is your jam, go for it. But if you're all about the latest and greatest in shoe tech, you might want to keep looking. For me, I'll have to decline. My feet and I weren't happy after a couple of miles, but something that really shocked me was the Noosa Tri 15 from Asics, and it is incredible what you can get for almost half of the price compared to the Hyperion Elite from Brooks. So, click right here to find out more.